What if I told you that getting rich early in life has less to do with luck, connections, or even talent, and more to do with mental discipline? While most people chase money, a select few train their minds. They think differently, they act differently, they control their emotions when others panic. Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years studying the wealthiest individuals of his time, and he discovered a hidden truth. Early riches are not accidental, they are mental. If you stay with me until the end, you'll discover the 5 powerful disciplines that separate the dreamers from the young millionaires. Lesson 1. Definiteness of purpose. Napoleon Hill's philosophy, particularly in Think and Grow Rich, hinges on the foundational law that all achievement begins with a clear, definite purpose. For the young person aspiring to build wealth, this is not merely a suggestion but a psychological requirement. Most individuals drift through life with vague desires. They want more money or to be successful, but vagueness is the enemy of execution. To build wealth early, one must replace hope with a definitive decision. This decision acts as a mental anchor, preventing the individual from being tossed around by the changing tides of the economy or social trends. When you decide on a specific path, you essentially program your subconscious mind to filter for opportunities that align with that path, much like a radio tuning into a specific frequency. Clarity provides the blueprint for the architecture of a fortune. Hill suggested a specific formula: determine exactly what you want, establish a firm date for its attainment, and most crucially, decide what you are willing to give in return. The concept of something for nothing is a delusion that keeps many in poverty. In the context of early wealth building, what you give in return is often your time, your leisure, and your singular focus. By defining the how much and the by when, you transform a daydream into a deadline. This deadline creates a healthy sense of urgency, forcing the mind to abandon procrastination and engage in high-leverage activities that move the needle toward the objective. When a goal is specific, the mind undergoes a physiological and psychological shift, functioning with the precision of a laser. In a world saturated with the attention economy, where every app and advertisement is designed to fracture your focus, a definite purpose acts as a protective shield. Distractions do not just lose their appeal, they lose their power entirely because they no longer fit into the framework of your reality. Time is no longer an infinite resource to be squandered, it becomes a capital asset to be invested. This level of focus allows a young entrepreneur or investor to achieve in 3 years what the drifter might not achieve in 30. Energy is no longer leaked through 1,000 tiny holes of indecision, it is channeled into a single high-pressure stream. Without a definite purpose, human effort is like a light bulb. It illuminates the room but lacks the power to cut through anything. With a definite purpose, that same energy is focused into a laser beam that can cut through steel. Effort that is scattered is eventually wasted because it never reaches the critical mass necessary to produce a significant result. However, when effort is applied to a single point consistently, it begins to compound. This compounding effect is the secret to early wealth. Every book read, every connection made, and every dollar invested within the context of a definite purpose adds to the previous efforts, creating a snowball effect that eventually becomes an unstoppable force of financial momentum. Lesson 2. Mastery over emotions. The path to early wealth is often paved with emotional landmines. Those who succeed understand that while emotions make us human, undisciplined emotions make us poor. The market, the business world, and the journey of self-improvement are all inherently volatile. If your financial strategy is at the mercy of your mood, your net worth will be as unstable as your temperament. Mastery over emotions does not mean becoming a cold machine. It means developing a psychological buffer between a stimulus and your response. This allows the wealth builder to act based on principles and data rather than fleeting feelings of fear or excitement. Fear, doubt, jealousy, and impatience are the silent thieves that rob individuals of their future fortunes. Fear keeps people from taking the calculated risks necessary for growth. Doubt prevents them from sticking to a plan when results are slow. Jealousy leads to lifestyle creep as they try to keep up with others, and impatience drives them to abandon long-term compounding for short-term gains. The disciplined mind recognizes these emotions as they arise but does not grant them a seat at the boardroom table. By labeling these emotions as external noise rather than internal truth, The disciplined individual maintains the mental sovereignty required to stay the course. During periods of economic uncertainty or market downturns, the majority of people react with panic, selling their assets at the bottom and destroying years of progress. The disciplined thinker, however, remains calm, seeing what others perceive as a catastrophe as a discounted opportunity. This emotional stability is what separates the elite from the average. Furthermore, the ability to delay gratification, to choose a future great over a present good, is perhaps the highest form of emotional mastery. While others are spending their first dividends on luxury cars to signal status, the disciplined wealth builder reinvests those funds, understanding that true status is the freedom provided by an unshakable financial foundation. Ultimately, wealth requires a level of emotional equilibrium that can withstand both the highs of a big win and the lows of a significant loss. If you allow a win to make you arrogant, you will become blind to new risks. If you allow a loss to make you timid, you will miss the next great opportunity. Mastering your reactions means you are no longer a victim of circumstance but a master of your results. This internal governance is the invisible part of wealth building that the public rarely sees, yet it is the very thing that makes the visible part, the money and the assets, possible and sustainable over the long term. Lesson 3. The habit of self-control. Self-control is the functional bridge between the desire for wealth and the actual achievement of it. It is the how behind the what. Many people possess the intellectual capacity to understand complex financial instruments or business models, yet they remain broke because they cannot govern their own behavior. Self-control is the act of subordinating the current self, which wants comfort, sleep, and entertainment, to the future self, which wants freedom, legacy, and impact. In the early stages of wealth building, your greatest competitor is not the market or your rivals, it is your own impulse to take the path of least resistance. The gap between knowledge and action is where most dreams go to die. Almost everyone knows the basic tenets of wealth: spend less than you earn, invest the difference, and continuously upgrade your skills. However, knowing is not doing. Discipline is the command function of the mind that bridges this gap. It is the internal voice that says do it anyway, when the body says not today. This self-command is a muscle that must be exercised daily. If you cannot control your morning routine or your diet, you will likely lack the fortitude to control a complex portfolio or a growing company. Self-discipline starts with the small private victories that no one else sees. For the young person, self-control often manifests as the choice to study a technical manual or a financial report when it would be far easier to scroll through social media. It is the decision to live in a modest apartment and drive an older car so that every spare dollar can be funneled into assets. Napoleon Hill emphasized that this type of self-discipline is not a punishment, but a form of self-investment. Every time you exercise self-control, you are essentially buying a piece of your future freedom. You are trading a moment of fleeting pleasure for a lifetime of permanent autonomy. The young who achieve wealth early do so because they have automated their discipline through habits. They don't have to decide to work hard or decide to save. They have built systems that make those actions the default. These small disciplined actions, repeated consistently over years, create a momentum that eventually feels effortless. This is the paradox of self-control. The more disciplined you are in the beginning, the more freedom you have in the end. By the time the world notices your success, it is already the result of 1,000 tiny disciplined choices that have finally reached the point of visible eruption. Lesson 4. Persistence without excuses. Every story of overnight success is usually preceded by a decade of invisible struggle that the public conveniently ignores. For a young person to build wealth early, they must possess a level of persistence that borders on the irrational. This is the ability to maintain the same level of intensity and commitment long after the initial spark of motivation has evaporated. Motivation is a feeling, but persistence is a character trait. It is the refusal to accept temporary defeat as a permanent state. In the world of wealth, the winners are often just the losers who stayed in the game one round longer than everyone else. The journey toward financial independence is filled with friction, rejection from investors, the failure of a first business, the ridicule of peers, and the soul-crushing slow progress of early compounding. Mental discipline in this context means removing the word excuse from your vocabulary. An excuse is a tool for the weak to justify their lack of progress. The disciplined mind understands that while you cannot control every event that happens to you, you have absolute control over how you respond. When a project fails, the person without discipline looks for someone to blame. The persistent person looks for the lesson to learn. Persistence is what turns a temporary setback into a stepping stone. Most people quit at the first sign of real resistance because they have a fragile mindset. They believe that if something is hard, it must be wrong. The disciplined mind, however, possesses anti-fragility. It views obstacles not as signals to stop, but as training grounds to get stronger. Every no received in sales or every market dip is seen as a necessary part of the process. This shift in perspective is vital because it prevents the emotional burnout that stops most people from reaching their goals. You don't fail until you stop trying. Until then, you are simply in training. To persist without excuses requires a deep underlying belief in your definite purpose. When the why is strong enough, the how becomes manageable. This persistence allows you to show up on the days when you are tired, when the news is bad, and when no one is cheering for you. Early wealth is often the reward for those who are willing to endure the boring middle, that long period between the excitement of starting and the glory of finishing. If you can outlast the skeptics and your own inner critic, you will find that the competition at the top is surprisingly thin, simply because most people quit long before they arrived. Lesson 5. Controlled imagination. Imagination is the workshop of the mind where all plans are created, but if left undisciplined, it can become a factory for fear. Most people use their imagination to visualize everything that could go wrong. They catastrophize about market crashes, business failures, or social embarrassment. This is a misuse of a powerful cognitive tool. Napoleon Hill taught that the disciplined individual must consciously direct their imagination toward opportunity and solution finding. Instead of asking, "What if I lose everything?" the wealth builder asks, "What if this works beyond my wildest expectations, and how do I prepare for that?" Controlled imagination is the ability to see things not just as they are, but as they could be. This is the essence of entrepreneurship and investing. It is the ability to see value where others see waste, or to see a solution where others see a problem. However, imagination without discipline is merely daydreaming. For the young wealth builder, imagination must be tethered to a definite purpose and a practical plan. You must be able to visualize the end result so vividly that it feels real, but you must also use your imagination to troubleshoot your own strategy and anticipate potential hurdles before they arise. When you guide your imagination with discipline, it becomes a wealth-building engine. You begin to see patterns in the market that others miss. You find creative ways to provide more value to more people in less time. This synthetic imagination allows you to combine old ideas into new, more profitable configurations. It is the mental faculty that allows a person to build a digital empire with nothing more than a laptop and an idea. Your mind is the ultimate asset, and imagination is its primary function. If you don't discipline your mind to focus on possibilities, it will default to focusing on limitations. Ultimately, your mind will create one of two things: your fortune or your excuses. There is no middle ground. The discipline of the imagination is what decides which of these two will manifest in your physical reality. By refusing to entertain thoughts of lack or failure, and by obsessively focusing on the mental image of your achieved goal, you create a psychological environment where success becomes inevitable. As Hill famously noted, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Controlled imagination is the process of making that conception and belief so strong that the achievement is simply a matter of time. Getting rich early is not magic. It is mental training. It is clarity of purpose, emotional mastery, self-control, persistence, and disciplined imagination. While others wait for the right opportunity, the mentally disciplined prepare themselves to recognize and seize it. If you truly want early wealth, start with your mind. Train it daily. Guard it carefully, direct it intentionally, because in the end, fortune does not reward the lucky, it rewards the disciplined.